Hello, and welcome back to the Plant-Based Gabriel and Plant-Based Bridget kitchen. Before we start on today's taco noodle soup, I will just mention that Bridget is wearing our banana t-shirt, which you can find at plantbasedgabriel.com in your own size, men's, women's, kids' sizes. So you can all match with us here. I'm wearing flannel today, but today we are making our taco noodle soup. And so, as you can tell, the first thing we've done is we have 10 cups of water that is at a bit of a rolling boil. It could be simmering a little bit more, but for some reason, it's really going. That's right. All right, 10 cups of water that you have boiling. Now we've got our beans. We are going to add around 5 cups of black beans, and these are cooked black beans. As you've seen me talk about in the past, we get a nice big Instant Pot full of black beans. 2, you keeping count, Bridget? 2 3/4. 4. 5. All right, 5 cups of black beans. And then we are going to add some pasta. It's taco noodle soup. And so, of course, we're going to add some sort of pasta. You could use whatever you really have around. We've used shells. I've done it with noodles, like spaghetti noodles or linguine. Dr. Miller, not a big fan of that. So we stick to smaller pasta. And this is an organic cavatelli pasta. It's very small when you put it in there, and it only gets about this big, which is really perfect for a taco noodle soup because you're not trying to make it huge noodle pieces in there. And so we are going to add half a box or half a pound of whatever pasta you're going to use. And if you're someone who is 1,000,000% against pasta of any kind, that is okay. Put some rice in there. Put 4 or 5 cups of rice in there, you'll be all right. And so we're going to get that mixing in there. All right, so we've got our kind of taco filling, and then we've got our noodle, and now let's season this dish up. First off, we're going to go heavy on the nutritional yeast. We're going to use about 1/4 of a cup of nutritional yeast. We are going to use about a teaspoon of cumin. You're watching, right? Because if I forget something, you let me know. We're going to use a teaspoon of garlic powder. All right. And hey, I'll just add this. If you're someone who likes to do seasonings, we really like these ones that are, I always like to unscrew the lid because that's kind of how I cook with, but Dr. Miller is more of a kind of a sprinkler, and so these kind of lids that do both are really nice. There was our garlic powder. Then let's add our onion powder. This is homegrown, homemade onion powder. Stuff we dehydrated ourselves. We're going to add a teaspoon of onion powder. And we've got our chili powder. Now, this is a chili lime powder, or like a chili powder with lime. I'm out of chili powder, just straight chili powder. So this is what I'm using. I use about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of chili powder. Could use the chili lime powder if you want. And some crushed red pepper flakes. To taste, I'm going to use somewhere around 1/4 of a teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. And lastly, this is kind of to taste, but around a teaspoon of a high quality salt, sea salt. If you're someone who's watching your salt, which is 100% okay, cut the salt out and just salt at the table. That is more than fine, and really probably your best bet if you're really conscious about the salt. And then we're going to add half a teaspoon of black pepper. And bam! How about that? All right, Bridget, now we're going to set the timer, and kind of like some of the other recipes, you don't have to be 1,000,000%, specific about it. Yeah. But we are going to turn the heat up to high, which means that it would probably be in your best interest to come by and just check on the soup once in a bit. But we're going to set that for 15 minutes. This pasta would normally cook for about 10 to 12 minutes if you were just cooking it straight in boiling water. But since we've got a lot more mass in there, it's not necessarily going to cook it as quickly. So we're going to set that for 15 minutes. We'll come back. It may need another 10 or 15 minutes after that. But and also, you could set that to simmer. I do that a lot of times. Get the lid, set it to simmer. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? Well, I'll set it to simmer and just come back 2-3 hours later and it's ready to go. So we are going to let this sit. It's on high. We're going to come and stir once in a while, but we're going to check that after 15 minutes and see how we're doing. And hopefully we should be about there. If not, we'll let you know. We forgot one thing, and we apologize. And this is an optional bit. So if you don't have these or you prefer not to use them, then you 100% don't have to. But we like these Butler soy curls. Now these are just a non-GMO, one ingredient, minimally processed, kind of meat alternative, but it's really just soybeans. And so we like to add in about a half a cup to this. If you don't have them, you certainly don't have to use them. But if you do like them, they do add a nice bit of texture there. And Bella's gonna get some because I just made a little bit of a mess. But check them out, and we'll also have the link there if you wanna check out these soy curls. They're a fun thing to use. We don't use them every day. We might have them once a week or so, but they do add some good texture there. You can see our soup is boiling. It's been a few minutes, but we will come back after about 15 minutes and see how it's doing. But check out the soy curls if you wanna give them a try. We are back. Bridget, it wasn't too long. We waited the 15 minutes and the noodles needed a little bit more time, so we gave them about 5-6 more minutes. So depending on the size of your noodles and depending on maybe your stovetop, you're probably gonna be anywhere from 15 or probably from 20 to 30 minutes. We had small noodles and it took it about 20 minutes. Here, I've got some popcorn here for Bridget. Take the hull off and, well, did you want some? My goodness. All right. But you can tell here that everything is nice and cooked. Hopefully you can see that. The noodles are nice and done. It has thickened up quite a bit. I know you may have been wondering. And even if it is more soupy, that's all right. Because once you're done cooking it, just throw a lid on it and let it sit, and it will thicken up. That starch from that pasta as well as from the beans will also thicken it up. One question I know we're gonna get asked is, well, why do we cook the pasta in with the beans? Why can't we just cook that separately? It would happen much quicker because everything else is cooked. That's really what we were waiting for here. You can do that, but I like it for what I just mentioned. The starch in the pasta will help thicken up the soup. And so you get that aspect of it. There we go. And then you also, when you just cook it in the water, you kind of just get that flavor. But when you cook it in here, those noodles soak up all those spices, all that flavor, and it's just a lot better of a dish. If you ask me, if you ask Dr. Miller, if you ask anyone that's tried this dish. Some other additional things, you could throw in some sweet corn, you could throw in some pinto beans, you could throw in some refried beans. This is really just the basis of it. It's what we have in the fridge normally, what we have in the pantry, and what we have in our spice rack. And so, Bridget, Dad's gonna go ahead and give this a try. It is hot. So you're not gonna get any right now. All right, you ready? The moment of truth. That is fantastic. You get the nice normal, what you'd expect, kind of like the chili flavor from the chilies or chili powder, the cumin, garlic powder, onion powder. The nutritional yeast adds a nice cheesiness to it. And yeah, what I like to do to this dish though, I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna throw in hot sauce. Whatever hot sauce you like, I'm gonna throw some hot sauce in there. And then I'm also gonna put some of my, whoop, there's a timer there. I'm also gonna throw in some pickled jalapenos or some candied jalapenos, some cowboy candy, whatever you wanna say, but some jalapenos there. So if you don't plan on doing that, then hey, you may need to add a little more salt. You may need to, you may wanna add some more of those individual spices. But we like to create a nice dish, and then we'll definitely add some spices there at the end. Bridget Rose, we need to get you a popcorn shirt. Whoa, Thank you. Well, we hope everyone enjoyed today's recipe video. If you did, make sure you let us know in the comment section. I take the whole of the popcorn, and she gets the nice, easy digestion, easy to swallow, starchiness of it. And the whole got me there. But if you did like today's recipe video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you share this video, whether on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or Pinterest or wherever you share things, maybe an email chain if you're into that. But we certainly do appreciate it. Again, the t-shirts are live on the website. You can dress just like Bridget Rose. Whether you're 1 year old or 80 years old, we have the shirt for you. And we hope you check them out and let us know what you think of them. We've got all different types. We do have the banana, we have heirloom tomatoes, lots and lots of different options. We hope you enjoyed the soup. It's a simple recipe. It's one we use a lot. It's using things that we normally keep in our pantry. And also, if you have some brown rice that you have cooked in the fridge, put that underneath there. Ladle some soup over top. The cold rice from the fridge will actually heat up from the soup. It'll cool down the soup, and you'll be much quicker to eat it. And it's a great way to use up your rice, your beans, some pasta, your great spices there. We hope you enjoy it. As for Plant-Based Bridget and Plant-Based Gabriel, we'll see you in another recipe video, another picture post very, very soon. Make sure I will have the link to this to go to our website, plantbasedgabriel.com, where you'll get the full recipe. And we've put a lot of time and energy into the site. So, all right, bye-bye. Bye-bye.